All right, we are live. So this is Epic Sketch Time for Tuesday, August 30th, 2016. My name is James Stowe. I'm a cartoonist and illustrator. I make an all-ages webcomic called Sidekick Quests that you can read Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at sidekickquests.com. And tonight I am joined by two other esteemed cartoonists, and I will let them introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Mark Monlux. I do a couple of webcomics called The Return of Stickman and The Comic Critic, and hopefully by the time you listen to this, they'll be back online because my website's down.
Still down?
I have not had a chance to deal with it.
Yeesh.
Other than to find out that the tech I asked to work on it said, well, I can't work on this. So.
Wait, why did he say that?
Oh, because I need to deal with my other ISP where, I have two different ISPs. I've been thinking about moving over from one ISP to the other.
I
so
see.
My tech is at the ISP that I want to move over to, but I need to see if I can at least reestablish my old website on my old ISP before I move it over, because there's a slim chance that I might be able to save some of my mailing lists of all those hundreds and hundreds of email addresses of people who follow my various strips.
All right. And the other person joining us. Sorry, I got caught up in ISP drama.
My name is Pat McEwen. I am for the past couple weeks and for the near future, I'll be working on issue number 3 of The Devil and Mr. Gandhi. You can read updates at devilandgandhi.com.
Alrighty, and for the next hour or so, we're going to be drawing, hopefully epically, and we'll probably be talking about some random stuff as well. So sit back and just watch us draw. And we might have some other guests tonight. Who knows? They might pop in. Right now, I am working on something for my son's birthday. There are many other things I should probably be working on, but...
You mean paying gigs?
What's that?
You mean paying work?
No, I took care of all the paying work earlier today. I'm thinking more along the lines of work that people have already paid me for, like Kickstarter-y things.
Ah.
Yes, I should be working on that, but tonight, my son's birthday is this weekend, and I really want to finish this for him.
Those were the multiple playing cards?
Yes. So what are you guys working on tonight?
Well, Patrick just said that he was working on volume number 3.
True.
I'm working on the same thing I've been working on for years. I'm touching up the horror movie playing cards.
Cool. So since we began Epic Sketch Time, you're still working on the same project?
Yes. Little pet projects are the...
It should just be that. We should just call it Monster Playing Cards, the podcast. Oh, hey, speaking of podcasts, how is your other podcast going?
Matter of fact, I was on the... my friend Daniel Abraham and I do a podcast that anyone can find on YouTube called Law and Artist. It's kind of a... We were going to try to go for art law, but apparently someone has a website called Art Law, so we had to kind of shift gears a little bit. The topic is legal issues that artists face. Copyright, contract negotiation, things like that. And today we taped two of them. We basically do the same thing that we do here. We just do Google On-Air Hangouts, which will soon be a thing of the past.
Right?
topic that we need to discuss. And the reason for that is I want to put in as little effort as possible because Daniel doesn't have the technical know-how. It took me a couple weeks just to get him up on Facebook and figuring out how to do a Google Hangout. But I've been sending those podcasts over to other venues like the Graphic Artists Guild and the IFVP sites, and they've been receiving some pretty good receptions. We haven't really received any comments on them, though. They haven't gotten a wide audience. We try to pump out a couple every few weeks. And today we were talking about contract negotiations and the power word.
The what?
There's a powered word in negotiation, and that power word is no. Actually, no, that's not. That was going to be the topic of next week's, or we're going to be doing one later on. Now, we were actually talking about what was it? Oh, how you should not negotiate on behalf of the client. It's a major failing of a lot of creative professionals that when someone calls them up and says, "Hey, I'd like you to do some art for me," that the artist comes up with a price that's either too low because he thinks, "Oh, this poor guy can't afford me," or he listens to the sob story and thinks, "Well, I think I can get it done in such and so time," and your profit margin and your career just go out the window at that point. So, learning how to confront that with yourself and learning how not to negotiate on behalf of your client. Your client can do negotiation just fine on themselves. There's no need for you to try to do it for them. And yet, lots of creative professionals, they're a bunch of softies, and as a result, they can't make a living.
I think it's more that we're a bunch of neurotics.
No, softies, bleeding hearts. There's lots of people out there who can make a profession out of this. You just.
I'm not disagreeing with you there, but I think the main reason why we negotiate for the client sometimes is because we worry about our own worth, not so much we worry about our clients.
Yeah, it's not a healthy business structure. I mean, you don't see any plumbers going out there saying, "Oh, I'm not really sure if I'm worth this or not."
Right, exactly. But you don't see a lot of people say, "Hey, my 8-year-old daughter can plumb that pipe better than that."
Yeah.
My mom took a little plumbing in college. Maybe I should show it to her.
Well, they always have those sitcoms about people tearing up the bathroom, so.
There you go. I know my weakness. I tried to fix a toilet once and destroyed my house.
My wife is in charge of old plumbing inside our house.
Does she fix it, or does she hire somebody to fix it?
Well, if she doesn't fix it herself, she tells me to. We have some plumbing contractors on retainer because we have a very old house, and it's not uncommon for us to about once a year or so have an issue. And I think we pay like $8 a month. And what that does is that $8 gets applied to our bill. So.
And what does that $8 get you exactly?
Well, in your first year, and here's the thing, in your first year it gets you prioritization. So if a bunch of people's pipes are freezing and you're being flooded, and you're on the Silver Awards program, they come to your house first.
I see. I don't think I've ever heard of a plumber retainer program.
Let me tell you, that first year, it was kind of nice to have them coming out here right away.
Interesting. I think we have a new... We do, Bill!
Oh,
I thought I heard your voice.
yeah. Sorry, I'm late. Something was weird about the page, so I accidentally went into an empty room. And
I knew that would happen. I was just telling Mark and Pat that I was pretty sure that that was going to happen today. And lo and behold, it did. So that is my fault. I accidentally created a hangout event and not a hangout on air event. So I had to scramble at the last minute to create this hangout on air. So you were unfortunately subjected to that.
oh dear. Well, at least it was. At least the problem was solved within the first 10 minutes.
That's right. You found your way in here. That's the important thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, Stowe, have you done any research on how you're going to be able to do this in the future?
I haven't, but I've got a week to figure out YouTube Live. Isn't that what it's turning into?
Yeah, what you do is you start it off as a YouTube Live event, which means you have to schedule it or tell what hours it's going to be coming in and out of.
Oh, that would be ideal.
And then what you do is when you have that set up, you then go back and start the Hangout, and the Hangout is then recorded on. At least I think that's the gist of it. I haven't messed with it because
So they're not getting rid of Hangouts?
they're not getting rid of Hangouts, they're just getting rid of on-air Hangouts.
Interesting. Well, I'm all for scheduling this thing in advance.
But you do have to, like, you're familiar with YouTube and how you have to put all the specs in, like monetize it and stuff?
Yeah.
So you have to set all that in advance before you start and go back into Hangouts and start it.
Oh, well, I guess I don't have a week to figure it out.
You
I should
want to
start.
spend a little bit more time than that.
Yeah, I should start doing that.
Because it's not like a last-minute thing that's going to fly very well unless you give it a practice run.
Oh, speaking of last-minute things, I just got a text from Michael, and this has nothing to do with this hangout, and I apologize to everyone who is listening, but the live drawing event, he can't host it this month. So I am going to have to host it for him. So
Oh.
I gotta get on the stick and put everything out for it.
Yeah, nice event announcement. Because we got a live model this time, right?
We do, hopefully. I'm going to contact her. But yes, I believe we definitely have a live model. I know that she was very excited when I talked to her about it when I wasn't hosting the thing. So.
We had someone new join us.
Oh, yeah?
Hello. It's Brett.
Oh, hey!
Hey there.
So, Brett, Bill, for the possible listeners now or in the future, please introduce yourself and tell everybody what you do.
My name is Brett Giuliano. I'm an illustrator, and I do a website and a webcomic, Just Funny Mafia. Updates twice a week. Yeah.
I'm Bill Morse. I do a cartoonist and illustrator, and I do a webcomic called Rhapsodies.
All right, thanks, guys. So, Brett, you were doing a local art hangout thing. How'd that go?
Yeah, I found a meetup of local comic artists, and we met downtown at one of the big libraries, and it was good. There's probably about 20 people that showed up,
Oh, wow. Great.
That's a fantastic
and
turnout.
yeah, and I mean there were people of all skill levels there. Most of them seem to have exhibited at cons before, and so it's basically this except in real life. Um, so I mean, it was the same thing. We had everyone kind of worked on their own thing. There was light chatter, and then half an hour before it ended, everyone kind of went around the table, introduced themselves, and showed what they were working on. So
Oh, awesome.
yeah, it was really enjoyable, and I think I'm going to try and get plugged into that group when I can.
Now, where are you?
What was that?
Where are you? Like,
I'm
where in
in
the country
Chicago.
are you?
Chicago.
Ah,
Yeah.
well, awesome. Yeah, I love getting together in events like that.
Mm.
Speaking of conventions, I've been thinking about doing E2C2. Can you recommend it, or have you not done it yet?
I've not done it.
This coming Friday is the first day of the local state fair, which used to be called the Puyallup Fair because it was held in Puyallup, but then Washington State decided to call it the Western Washington State Fair, or just the Washington State Fair, and I kind of miss calling it the Puyallup Fair.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can still call it that.
So we always go and look at the prizes for the best pies, cannings, quilts, local artists, and one of the things we always do is check out the numerous, as seen on TV, type booths for obscure and odd household items, many of which we've come home with over the years.
So next week you can have a report for what weird stuff you can purchase at the fair.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I've been thinking about going. I haven't been for years. But with the light rail, it's now pretty easy to get there.
Yes, they do have shuttles going from the light rail station.
Oh, do they? Oh, that's cool.
There are special buses just for the fair.
So this was the first year we told our kids we are not going. If they want to go, they need to find their own way. But Mom and Dad aren't going to the fair this year.
Oh, what? But you're the cash cow for all those rides.
That's the idea, exactly. I got a teenager now. He can pay his own fair way.
My wife doesn't enjoy rides, so we never go. I personally love rides, but I never get a chance to go on them hardly anymore.
You don't do the Dizzy Pass or whatever it's called? All the rides you want.
She would just watch me go up there and do it. And it's no fun going on a ride by yourself.
Well, maybe you could take my son.
For me, it's all about the animals, so I'm sort of picking the best weekend to do it. I mean, I always think doing the exotic animal breeds is the most interesting, but I always forget which is the correct weekend that is.
Now, on the first day, which is this Friday, if you're one of the first few thousand in and you come with a a canned good item, they just let you in for free.
Oh.
So we typically do that. One year, I made a vow that the only things I would eat were items served on sticks.
How much do you get from that besides the oversized corn dogs?
Quite a lot. You have, believe it or not, that year they had what they were calling dinosaur on a stick, which is basically overcooked flank steak. Let's see, another thing they had was chocolate-covered strawberries on a stick.
Oh, yes.
Let's see, what else was on the stick? There were many. I did not go hungry at all.
Do turkey drumsticks count, or is that...
It's not on a stick. One of the best pork chops I've ever had was at a Six Flags in Denver during Oktoberfest. They had these pork chops on a stick, and it was the best, absolutely best.
Now, do you consider a bone a stick?
I already
No.
asked for the drumstick bit.
No, a bone is not a stick.
A bone is not a stick.
A bone is a stick?
A bone is not.
A bone is not a stick.
A bone is not a stick. We tackle.
Does anyone recognize the creature on my screen?
Just a sec. Oh, one of the mole critters?
No, this is from the 1980s horror film Funhouse. And this little character is what results when there's too much carny inbreeding. It's just a related topic to the whole Peel-Out Fair thing.
Is he screaming because his left arm is broken? There's a weird angle of that arm. No?
Well, it's
Just me? And what's going on with his, I dare I say it on what I'm hoping is a family-friendly podcast, but forehead vagina. What exactly is going on there?
well, he's actually he's got 3 noses.
He's got 3 noses.
Yes, he's got 3 noses. Basically, somewhere in the womb, 2 fetuses kind of overlapped a little bit.
I see.
So what you have there is sort of like a really bad hair lip that goes up the forehead.
Gotcha. That is better than what I said.
Okay, I'm guessing that's in Seattle.
Not my part of Seattle.
Chicago, maybe?
Mean streets and all that.
I really enjoy watching Brett work. As a vector artist myself, it is so interesting to watch somebody else use it in a completely different way than I use it.
Well, it also doesn't help that, or since the move, I haven't touched my tablet that I got for my birthday.
Oh, yeah?
So I got little Wacom, starter tablet, and played with it for like 3 or 4 hours, and then moved, and subsequently haven't picked it up since.
It's
Just
just like a
because,
new pet. You've gotta, you can't abandon it. It won't bond to you.
Now, is it a touch-sensitive tablet,
They
or
imprint, for Pete's sake.
is it one of those big blue tablets where you have to look up at the monitor?
it's the latter. So it's not touch sensitive. I have to still look at the computer.
Yeah, I had one of those, and I could never get into it.
Really? Oh man, I worked on one of those for years and years.
No, I sold mine for $50 last year because I would use it occasionally, but I just couldn't get into it. I just hated looking up at the screen and trying to draw at the tablet at the same time.
Oh, I never found that to be an issue. I mean, I really enjoy drawing directly on what I'm working on, but I never had a problem with the disconnect between the two surfaces.
Yeah,
I
I
am
think
already regretting a sesame seed bun. I don't know why I decided to do this. So if you see me go silent and not draw for a while, it's because I'm live streaming the Donald Trump rally in Everett. And every once in a while I'll just flash over there to take a look, try to read his lips.
And I heard that he was going to be showing he was going to be performing in Washington. I assumed it would be some place on the east side.
Right. I was really
Sort
surprised.
of like, what part of the Puget Sound would he have a snowball's chance of? I mean, it's weird enough that he's wasting energy campaigning here at all, but
No, I would agree. It is a very odd strategy. Oh, he just said something important. I see lots of flags waving.
so is this his official policy? The official policy speech they've been talking about?
You know what? I have him on mute, so I'm not exactly sure what he's saying. But he looks.
Lord knows you can't
it.
broadcast it because that would be infringement.
Yeah, I guess the poor guys who are live streaming this had to pay $1,200 for the privilege of doing it.
Still, was that beep beep sound someone trying to get in?
I don't know. Diana says she cannot join till 8:30, and odds are we will all be gone by then. Sorry, that was me again. So it is a 4-day weekend for people who pay attention to those kind of things. I don't know how many of us in this group have to worry about that, but anybody have any Labor Day plans?
Oh, nothing in particular. Back in the day, I used to do Bumbershoot, but I've been priced out of that for over a decade.
My wife and I used to go to Bumbershoot every year, but
Yeah, I thought you were a fairly regular bumper shoot attendee.
Oh yeah, we would pay for the silver, and then we paid for the gold, the platinum passes, and we just loved it. But then they changed some of the venues around where the concerts were held, and we didn't like how things were laid out anymore. And a lot of the bands that we would listen to weren't showing up because she tends to prefer more cutting-edge indie bands, and they were getting more hip-hop bands for some reason. The old organizers changed over, and they also changed their policy on children and made it so that people with small children and carriers didn't have to pay to get in.
Ah.
And that increased the crowd size of all those people with all those baby strollers. It just got nightmarish.
Yeah. Any faithful reader of my comic knows that the Monlux hates children.
Yep.
Seriously, you actually have that monster in the...
Oh, it's the main bad guy of my comic.
Oh,
Big giant red thing.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
a
start
big
paying
giant
more
red
attention.
monster that hates kids.
Okay, that was
Yeah,
really phenomenal, whoever let that one out.
At some point, I'm going to need to name characters after everybody else here.
Uh-oh.
Sounds good to me.
Almost every character in Sidekick Quest is named after someone or something from my life. Often I ask permission. Sometimes I do not. Everyone named after my family, they just suffer. I've never asked permission.
Well, they're family. What can they do?
Exactly.
So I have a question, Stowe.
Yeah.
Not to get any spoilers out there for your diehard fans, but the character who was killed off and then brought back to life as a zombie.
Yeah.
Are they going to be seen again? And if so, only as a zombie?
Well, I'm not gonna spoil whether they ever come back to life, but the next storyline is going to feature heavily, like the next complete storyline, the next after random encounters with kids is over, the next storyline is very much about the quest to save Milberg. And unfortunately, it is going to be. I'm going to tell you, the title of it is "The Revenge of the Red Wizard."
Ooh.
Yeah.
So I just finished watching Jonathan Strange and Mr. Morrell.
Oh yeah, it's very
How
good.
was it?
Well, I started watching it on TV when it first came on, but then life got in the way, and I missed a couple episodes, so I've been waiting eagerly to watch the last 3 episodes, and I was very happy with it.
Good. I enjoyed the book, but the trailer looked fantastic.
What was it on? What did it originally air on?
It was either BBC. was it either a PBS or the BBC America, right?
It was on BBC, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. My wife and I just found out that it's on Netflix, so.
Oh.
It's well worth a watch.
And we need a show.
I'm currently in the middle of watching. What is the Elizabethan one with Frankenstein and
Penny Dreadful.
Penny Dreadful?
I had to give that up.
You did?
There's an episode in the second season involving a baby.
Oh, yeah.
It was just, I can't watch it anymore. I'm just like, jeez. I have a threshold, and that was my threshold. Baby torture and mutilation is definitely where I'm just like, nope, I can't watch this. But up to that point, it was a fantastic series. And I'm sure it gets better after baby mutilation. Or not, who knows. Have you seen the whole thing?
No, I'm still, I think I'm 3 episodes from the end of Season 2. I believe Season 3 has yet to come on the air. But I think that they were calling it an end at the end of Season 3. At least that's what I heard.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
I finally got around to watching Rick and Morty in its entirety, well, at least the first season.
Oh my god, I love that show so much.
That goes into so many dark places.
Yeah. I watched. That's one of the shows I watch by myself. There's no one in my house I can enjoy that with. But I love it.
I use it as an example in my online tutoring classes.
What?
Oh, please expand. I have to hear this.
Well, the way that they create the artist is phenomenal for the way he creates a schizophrenic feeling to his characters. And the first thing you notice right off the bat is the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
They're big, they're wide, okay, they're like Homer Simpson eyes. No big thing there. But if you look at the pupils, their pupils are these manic, scribbly dots. They're not these even dots. So you already have this feeling of unease right away in the eyes. Then the next thing that they do is the way they do their mouths. Okay, totally counterintuitive to any other animation out there. The mouths turn into these big, wide, even ovals, and every single tooth is identical. It looks like a row of tombstones. And that also creates an air of unnervousness. And if you look at the tongue's like flapping around inside there like a weird worm. It's the whole face structure of those characters is designed to make you feel uncomfortable and out of sorts. And I just thought it was those characters were masterly designed with those concepts in mind.
Huh.
Another cartoon I'm watching is a food-related anime. My wife and I enjoy watching food-related anime.
There's a surprising large number of them.
Yeah, it's a growing thing. We refer to some of them as food porn. Because,
What?
oh yes, you have to watch Food Wars sometime to see exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, I can't think of the example you're talking about specifically, but the way they go into desserts on Black Butler, I can imagine.
I don't know. After the McChicken thing from this week, I don't know if I want to deal with anything like that.
McChicken?
Oh, you missed that part of the internet? Do not search that part of the internet out. You know, just be happy that you have been spared. I spend too much time on Twitter.
I've also been spared apparently. But does this have anything to do with something I saw about rat meat?
So, Stowe, I sent you a couple things on Facebook today.
You did?
Or was it yesterday? I'm pretty sure I sent you something this morning.
I've been super busy today. And yesterday I finally finished that cover I've been working on for months.
Oh, the one for the game?
Yeah. Oh, I should show it to you. Where are we?
Oh yeah, one of the things I sent you was the book cover of the novel I was recently reading. The guy who does the Dresden Chronicles.
Uh-huh.
He's the guy that's doing sort of like a steampunk boats in the sky type.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm halfway through that one. I rather like the world building.
All right, there's the cover. Right, check my screen out.
So, Bill, do you think that Stowe's ship there looks a little bit like the Predator?
I'm not sure. I didn't get a good look at it.
Yeah, Stowe, where's your art?
It's
Wait, can you see it now?
It's just a thumbnail on the side.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah,
Weird.
you've had that problem before.
I have. Wait, were you able to see the other thing I was working on?
No, I mean you could tell it looked like a dollar bill, but we couldn't see you work your magic.
Huh. Weird. All right, let me try to fix that. Let's see. All right, I'm just going to do. Bear with me as I do the entire screen. All right, can you see it now?
Yes.
All right, let me zoom out a little bit. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think?
Pretty good.
It is an absurd amount of vector layers, as you can see.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, it definitely slows down my computer.
Somebody spent way too much time on that.
Way too much time. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Much like what I'm doing with these stupid cards. I saw a fairly decent horror movie that was made fairly recently.
Yeah.
And it was kind of set a little bit in the 80s. It had that kind of feel to it. And it was called We Are Still Here.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, me neither. What's that about?
It is about a haunted house. This older couple who recently lost a grown son to a car accident move into this house. And she thinks that her son is reaching out. He's a skeptic. and it's not her son. I'm just...
Spoiler.
Well, at least that's what her psychic friend is trying to tell her.
You know, if you can't trust your psychic friend, who can you trust?
Right? That reminds me, I need to go look at Donald Trump for a second. Yep, still talking. That was less than 20 seconds, so we're good. I think 20 seconds is the amount of copyright cutoff. All right, so is this Burger Monster suitably gross enough?
So is that the phase 1 of the Burger Monster?
What's that?
Is
he
that
gross?
phase 1? Because I seem to recall you were doing them in phases, like evolution.
Yes, they have evolutions. Yes.
So this is meaty.
Yeah, this is just the basic burger. And then there's some carrot sticks.
Oh, like
Cool.
that one.
And mac and cheese.
Oh, that one came out really well.
I don't even think you really need the eyes on the top, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, it took me a moment to even notice them.
Yeah, I didn't even see
They're
that.
right in your soul if you look at it, right? I mean, just look at that. That's just. I love he's got a little cheese nose. That's my favorite part. I don't know why I kind of made this thing into a zombie.
It works though.
Yeah, I might release this game online as a little freebie once his party's over.
Why don't you give it to your Kickstarter people as a way to placate them for the delay that you've caused?
Not a bad idea, actually. You know what? I will say this. Editing is going a lot slower than I had originally anticipated.
Do you need a copy editor?
No, I have two, but they are... Apparently, I am terrible.
We can confirm that. You
Yes.
are.
So I'm making too much work for them, apparently. I'm making their editor heads explode. That, and I'm working on this other big Kickstarter RPG project, which I should never have agreed to while I'm doing my own Kickstarter project. But, you know, when work comes, work comes. And I really love this game that I'm working on.
So, Jim, since you are, well, I suppose a couple people here are RPG types. I'm kind of playing around with a project that is for my own enjoyment, really. But it's going to be, think of it as like D&D Dungeon Crawler meets the Three Musketeers.
Okay.
When you say that, you're
Or
choosing
mechanic.
What's that?
Here, I'll let Bill go first.
when you say that, are you mean that you're basing your fantasy setting on the Sun King's reign, or?
More loose than that. There's going to be a lot of sword fighting and a lot of wine drinking, and it'll all take place in a dungeon.
So it's not going to be like HBO's The Musketeers, which a friend of mine, Terry, just tore to shreds when he saw it, saying they're wearing cowboy hats.
Wait, they're wearing cowboy hats?
Yes, if you look at the props that they're wearing, the hats that these musketeers are wearing are not the traditional musketeers hats. They are basically cowboy hats that have been converted a little bit.
Now, wouldn't that be like the first thing you try to get right? Because that's a pretty look. That's.
Yeah, it's sort of like, I don't think they were really worried so much about the look, or accuracy, or plot. I think they just like the whole idea of, some swashbuckling action happening.
Gotcha.
Now, my friend Joe enjoys it quite a bit, but I have to admit it was not one of my... I was watching it over at his place. I would have preferred to watch the Vikings instead. At least then,
Watch the Viking show. Was saying good.
I've seen about 3 or 4 episodes, and I thought it was fairly good.
The A&E Vikings?
Yeah.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, no, I really like that. I watched it from the very first season, and I've fallen a little bit behind, but I really enjoy it.
I only get to see an episode now and then because it's not on my main rotation. But my friend Joe has TiVo, and he just keeps everything on rotation until he gets around to it. He's got this wonderful exercise regime where he's got a TV in front of his what's it called, treadmill that he has in his work space downstairs, and he'll watch an hour-long show, which is 40 minutes without commercials, and while he's on the treadmill.
Stuff like that always reminds me of the opening scene in Woody Allen's Bananas, except now we actually have those devices.
I saw Bananas in the theater with a double feature. It was Bananas and what's
That's New Pussycat?
No, Sleeper.
Oh,
Sleeper was much more funny.
definitely. The only thing I mean, my favorite bit of the Bananas was the Howard Cosell bit, but other than that, yes, Sleepers is much better.
Dang it.
Did anyone ever see Andy Kaufman in a movie called Heartbeat?
Yeah, maybe it was because I was young, but I actually liked that movie. It was pretty good makeup.
Yeah, they were doing a new type of makeup at that time. It had never been done before. It wasn't latex. It was a form of silicone.
Really?
And it was hyper flexible.
That actually makes it sound even more impressive.
All right, this burger thing is my new favorite thing I've drawn in a while.
Patrick, it sounds like you're about hitting the wall.
What? Oh, that was not me.
Oh, that sigh wasn't from you?
That deep sigh, I think, came from Chi-Town.
Nope.
No? Hmm.
Nope.
Who's falling asleep then?
Whoever doesn't answer for a while.
Nobody's falling asleep, I guess. Weird.
I should be. It's almost 11:30 where I'm at, but that was not me sighing.
Yeah, it is about time we normally call it quits.
I think I'll say goodnight. I still haven't had my supper yet. So I'll talk to you gentlemen next week. Oh, still, before I go, any luck finding a new place for Freelance Fandango?
No, but I still have high hope for the place on Broadway. But I still need to confirm with them what I hadn't been able to do on Monday.
Night, everyone.
All right.
Hi, Mark. All right, everybody. I think it's time for me to go too. Unfortunately, that means I'm going to be ending the broadcast. I hate to be that guy.
You're that guy.
I am. So this has been another epic sketch time. I'm glad everybody could join us. Hopefully you'll hear from us. Oh, wow. I need to turn that off. Sorry. I just gave myself vertigo. There you go. All right. So I will see everybody next week. Thank you, Pat and Brett and Bill and Mark for joining me. And I will see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Y'all have a good one.